Okay, this lecture is on Chinese immigrants and racialization. When the Chinese immigrants first arrived to the United States, they were considered clean, hardworking people who would one day become good citizens. However, they became competitors in the economy, in particular in gold mining or on the railroads and on plantations. They were competing with white laborers for work. As the competition increased, white nativists started to demand laws that prohibited them from mining, which is seen in the 1852 Foreign Miners Tax. And eventually, anti-Asian policies led to the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act, which to this day is the only ethnic minority group that were prohibited from immigrating into the US. These acts are examples of political racialization because they targeted the Chinese and reaffirmed the idea of a quote unquote Chinese race that is non-Christian, non-white, that is considered to be heathen because they're non-Christian, morally inferior, again because they're not Christian, savage, childlike, and uncivilized. The economic dimension of the racialization process is key to the Chinese, as the Chinese were subject to the dual wage system that fueled ethnic antagonism. The dual wage system pays one group less than another group for the same work, meaning a white worker would get $1 a day working on the railroad, while the Chinese would get 50 cents. The result of this economic infrastructure pushed the Chinese immigrants into self-employment, such as into becoming laundrymen. People versus Hall provides another example of racialization of the Chinese. And again, People v. Hall, because it's a court case, would be considered a political form of racialization. George Hall and two others were tried for the murder of Ling Sing. One Caucasian and two Chinese witnesses testified against Hall in court. He was found guilty. However, his lawyers appealed based on a California law that states no black or mulatto or Indian shall be permitted to give evidence in favor of or against any white person in court. The shift in how Chinese immigrants were perceived led to the popular idea that America had a problem with the quote unquote Chinese race. Through public policies, that is, the laws that are passed by Congress, economic competition, and social discrimination, the idea of the Chinese race was reaffirmed and legitimated. As you read, pay attention to this process and make notes of other social, political, and economic form of racialization that created and reinforced the idea of a Chinese race in America.